Hello and welcome. In this video we will refactor our code and we will use the Laravel and Shopify standard way of writing our code. So in the previous video we write test and we put some dummy URL with dummy data. So in this video I will refactor everything and will show you how exactly you have to do it. Because for testing I don't want to write beautiful code, I just want to make it work. That's why I have written all of this code in a test inside the route. This is not the best place you can put. If you are a Laravel developer, you have to put them inside a controller. The controller, you should have like model and database and stuff like that. So in this video you will learn all about that and we will refactor our code and it should be clean and simple. So, and I also mentioned that the source code is available on GitHub, but make sure you watch the video. If you don't know where to put this stuff, make sure you do not skip the video. Now let's do it. The thing is, we have a setting tab here. I know like every store will have some setting which is unique to that store. So where you will save those setting, I'm going to store them in my database inside a table. So I have to create a table called setting right inside my database. Also this should have a controller as well as a model. So I will come to terminal here. I will write php artisan make and then I will say model. Using the make model, I'm going to specify the model name. If you don't know what is model, then you don't know Laravel. So it is basically a class that represents everything about the database and controller. So setting is going to be our class and it will contain all our functions. So now when I say setting, I can pass a flag of M for migration or for resourceful controller. So it is going to create a migration for me for database and as well as like a controller with resourceful, like all the function inside it. If I click, like press enter, successfully created the model, migration and the controller. If I check out the resources here, this is my model. Everything is nice and clean and nothing extra. Everything is fine. Now this is the table of database. So I will open the file instead of tracking it inside the Git. Currently our database, it has like setting, it will pluralize it for you. If you have like setting, it will make it settings. It is very like intelligent and will understand it. So for now, what you can do is you can specify some data here. Let's say I have a record in the table of database and it is going to be string, or maybe this can be like a boolean also. So I'm going to say string. And what is the name of this like field in database and the setting table? It is going to be is like maybe activated. Activated means if we have set up our theme, this one, the value of this one should be 1 or 0 or true. Of course you can use boolean here and that would be better if you want to say like is it activated or not. So the best solution would be boolean, but you can store it on a setting like a string too. So that's it for this one. Now it is not the only option you need here. You will add more option in future, but for now this is all I need. I know like it depends on your app. Your app might have 100 and thousands of options, so you can store all of them in this table. So for now I will just migrate it, php artisan migrate, and it is going to migrate my table. So if you open your table in database, you should have this setting for that store. Now I don't want to write test here. Instead of this one, I am going to write a route here and it is going to be a post. If someone send a post request to configure or activate, let's say configure theme, then you can obviously call your controller. So the first thing you have to write is settings or setting controller at the function that you have inside your controller. Currently I don't have a function for, let's say, configure the theme. The best way to do this one is just put your URL name as the same as the function name you have here. Now I will open the setting here and I don't know, you can put it anywhere you want, but I will just duplicate this one and put the function like configure theme here. I will just clean up this one. Now it is going to say if someone send a post request to this URL, just call this function inside the setting controller. That's it. I will save it for now, and I'll save this one also. Now you can grab all your code from test, which we do not need the test, and you will paste it here. Again, auth is not defined in everywhere like you are using the auth. Make sure you are going to import it, and I will import auth here. That's fine. Now I shouldn't have any issue. This is going to return a success message for me, and this is going to work just fine. Now all I have to do is just update my code here in the dashboard. Okay, I have unexpected string. Now the good thing about Laravel, like the error handling, is like it is very nice and clean. So this should be inside line 33, this one, which we do not do anything. I can get rid of this one, save it. Let's refresh our page, going to the dashboard. Now I have another error, so let's check why this error this one is line 44. I think, yeah, sorry, I haven't written PHP for a while because I'm using a lot of JavaScript. That's why if you don't put semicolon, it works just fine in JavaScript. Okay, it should work just fine now. Again, I will open the dashboard and let's see if our code is working fine. Dashboard.build.php, and I will uncomment this partial code that you have here. Also, I will open the partial to see what is the button here. This is the button that will configure our theme, right? When you click on this one, it is going to call a function called setup a theme. If you remember in the previous video, we did this one. So if I come to customer, going back to the dashboard, this is what it will show. So you click on the configure, it is going to call our function, and the function is going to say theme configure. So now let's check out where we return the function. Okay, I will give it a quick search. Here you go, it is inside the dashboard down there. So I can call this function, but instead of like setting a timeout, I can send an AJAX request to the server, which URL. To this URL I can send a post request, and it should configure the theme with my app. So that is what I'm going to do now. So what I will do is, you know, I don't have any dependencies so far here. I don't have any JavaScript. If I open the resources here in the app, I have Bootstrap. If I open Bootstrap, in here we have Axios. Axios is best way to send AJAX requests, so I'm going to use Axios, which is nice. If you have checked the documentation, you know that Axios has the best option because it comes with Laravel out of the box. So you can come to the documentation and explore how it is going to work, but for us it is easy. All we have to do is send a post request, which is going to be something like this, to a URL, and I don't have to specify, like don't have to send any data. Also, we have stored this in the window variable, which means we do have access to Axios here. Let's check it out. You can say Axios dot post. Hope I have spelled it right. Yep. And this is the URL that you are sending. So for me it is theme setup. That's it. You send a post request into this URL, and of course when you send any request with Axios, it is going to return a promise, and then you can handle it. If you say then, it is going to be on success, and if you say catch, it is going to catch any error. So this is how it works basically. And now I am going to call a function here on success. Let's say response console.log the response, or maybe just alert so we can know what is the response. This should be fine. In case it threw an error, we can also handle it and pass the error, and the same way as we did here, we can just say, okay, if you have an error, alert the error, so we can see what is going on. Now I will save it and let's check it out how it is going to work. I haven't tested this one, so it should work fine, but let's see. You know, when you click on the configure, for now I will refresh my page. When you click the configure, it should send an post request to this URL. It will come to this route here, configure theme. Oops, it was configure theme, but in my code I have written setup theme. I'll put it as a configure theme. That's fine. And I hope yep, it is also configure theme. Everything should be fine, and it's going to call this function. It is going to check the authenticated user, and what this is going to do is this is going to create our file for us, and it will return success. If it works fine, then it should create a file for us, because in my theme I deleted the file that we created in the previous video. So if you see the file here, it means it was successful. Now there are many different ways you can do this one. If you have a better way, feel free to do it, but this is how I would normally do it. Now I will come back to the dashboard, click on the configure, it goes, and it doesn't come back because we might get an error. So you can check the error here, xuse is not defined. So if it happens for you, it is because we haven't compiled our file and we didn't link it in our default file here. If you check it out, now we have our script which is all fine, and we do not have our script that we have compiled here. Let me show you. In the public directory we have our app.js, but we have never specified like the app.js in the default template. So I will open the default template here, and down there I can write a script tag with an src, and now in here you can use the asset function the same way that we have used for the css, we can use for the javascript. This time it is going to the js directory, app.js. If you check it out, it is going to go to the public directory js, and it will grab the app.js. So we have added this one, and this one is extra, plus we have to add this one. And why the color coding is not working? Okay, I missed one of this here, so it should work just fine. Now if I save it, now coming back to our app, let's refresh it. Now it is working fine. If I click configure, it's going to send the ajax request, and it will come with an object here. Now it didn't throw an error. Now this object, I should console.log so we can see what is the error. It might be a JSON, it might be an error, it might be success, but we don't know. If it was successful, so it means like we have to have a file here. If I refresh my theme here, and you can see here is my file, and here is the code inside this one. This file was not here, so I can delete this again and show you, like confirm like it was deleted, and let's see if it works again, because you don't know if it was working or not. Now you can close this one, coming back to the dashboard, click on the configure, it was coming with an object, and this time I refresh the page. Yep, it opened. Why it opens here? Because it was previously open here. So if you check it out, like the snippet, it is the file is here, so the file was successfully created here. Now what you can do is you can check on, let's see here, you do have access to the response. So if you console.log response, console.log the response, now you can check the object and what it returned. Now the best thing to do is, like, instead of returning a success, you can return an array here. Now it could be message, and the data of the message could be like team setup successfully. You save it and you will have access to the message. Either that is an error, or if it is an error, you can return the error. For now it is just fine. I know, like, you have to, like, let's say I will change this one to updated, so make sure it is the same as we have. So now I have a file here. What if you already have a file and you run the code again? Let's try it. I will close this one, go to product, coming to the dashboard, click on the configure. It ran the request and it is going to console.log my data. If I check out the data here, now the data has a message, it was successful. You can display this one, or you can check if the message was success. You can simply hide this one, right? Now let's check out the theme here. I will refresh the file again. I didn't delete this time. Did it create another one, or is it still the same? As you can see, it is the same, but the content of the file has changed. It means if you send a post request to the file which already exists, it is going to override that one. So that is something you have to note. Now, how would you close the model? This is the last thing I do, and then we will finish this video. Now this is like the success message, and as I said, set up the theme, everything is working fine, and if it was successful, you can return true here. So how would you do this one? I might put it for you, because you send an AJAX request here, and as you can see, it is going to, if it return true, you can do something. This is how you can change the progress. Now it is mentioned on the documentation of like Alpine.js. You can check it out there, but I will leave it for you. How would you close the model after the success? Make sure you do it, but that is just like an assignment. I can do it for you now because I have already done this one, but that is what I want you to do a little research and see how it goes. And that's it for this video. I hope it has been informative. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.